Say, Sancho, how dost thou like adventuring?
Oh, marvelous, your grace. But it's peculiar. To me, this great highway to glory looks exactly like the road to El Toboso, where you can buy chickens cheap.
Well, like beauty, my friend, is all in the eye of the beholder. Only wait, and thou shalt see amazing sights.
What kind?
Knights and nations, warlocks, wizards, a cavalcade of vast, unending armies.
They sound dangerous.
They are dangerous. There'll be one who leads them.
In the country of Spain, there is a valley called La Mancha. It has horizons very wide and a sky so blue and brilliant that it causes men to dream. This is the story of a man who lived in that valley a long time ago and who looked up at that sky and had a dream that to this very day is still alive. I shall impersonate this man for you. Come, enter into my imagination and see him. This dreamer is a gentleman farmer by the name of Alonso Quijana, also called Alonso the Good. He is tall, bony, thin as a string bean, no longer young, but with eyes that burn with indignation at people's bad behavior toward each other. He broods about how the world may be made better, and finally comes up with the strangest scheme ever imagined. He will bring back the age of chivalry, declare himself a knight-errant, and sally forth into the world to right all wrongs, No longer shall he be plain Alonso Quijana, but a dauntless knight known as Don Quixote de la Mancha. Hear me now, O thou bleak and unbearable world, thou art base and debauched as can be. And a knight with his banners all bravely unfurled now hurls down his gauntlet to thee. I, Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha, my destiny calls and I go, and the wild winds of fortune shall carry me onward, oh, whithersoever they blow, whithersoever they blow, onward to glory I go. So now, dressed in odds and ends of rusty armor which he found in the attic, and with a horse almost as old and skinny as himself, he is ready to begin his crusade. Wait, every proper knight must have a squire. Don Quixote approaches a peasant living nearby, Sancho Panza by name. Sancho is a chubby, cheerful fellow who looks like a potato just dug out of the ground. He has a little donkey he can ride, and is happy to become a squire and join Don Quixote in so wonderful an adventure.
I follow my master till the end. I'll tell all the world proudly, I'm his squire, I'm his friend.
Hear me, heathens and wizards and serpents of sin, all your dastardly doings are past. For a holy endeavor is now to begin, and virtue shall triumph at last. I am Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha, my destiny calls and I go, and the wild winds of fortune shall carry me onward, oh, whithersoever they blow, onward to glory we go. So our strange-looking knight and his eager squire are off on the highway to glory. But the first adventure they have seems very strange to little Sancho.
Aha!
Well, what's happening?
There, before thee, a band of monstrous giants.
They're only windmills.
Giants!
Windmills!
Oh, feckless giants standing there! Avast, avaunt, on guard, beware!
Your Grace, I swear by my wife's little black mustache, those are not giants. They're only... Didn't I tell you? Didn't I say, Your Grace, those are windmills?
It was my enemy, the great enchanter. He changed those giants into windmills at the very last moment. He will stop at nothing in order to... Aha!
Now what?
There in the distance, a castle.
It's not a castle. It's only an inn.
Come, we shall ride straight to the drawbridge of yon castle, and there perhaps thy vision may improve. And there you have it. To Don Quixote a castle, to Sancho an inn. It all depends on how you choose to look at things. For instance, at that inn, or castle, Don Quixote meets a kindly innkeeper, whom he calls Lord of the castle, who decides to humor the knight. And then he catches sight of a ragged serving girl with rough manners and a dirty face. At least that's the way she appears to Sancho. But Don Quixote looks beyond the rags and dirt and sees her as a princess with a strange and beautiful name, Dulcinea.
I have dreamed thee too long, never seen thee or touched thee, but known thee with all of my heart. Half a prayer, half a song, thou hast always been with me, though we have been always apart. Dulcinea, Dulcinea, I'm in heaven when I see thee, Dulcinea, and thy name is like a prayer an angel whispers. Dulcinea, Dulcinea. If I reach out to thee, do not tremble and shrink from the touch of my hand on thy hair. Let my fingers but see thou art warm and alive, and no phantom to fade in the air. Dulcinea, Dulcinea, I have sought thee, sung thee, dreamed thee, Dulcinea. Now I found thee, and the world shall know thy glory, Dulcinea. Dulcinea.
The servant girl runs and hides, thinking he is just making fun of her. Don Quixote would like to convince her of his sincerity, but suddenly there's a distraction. Down the road toward the inn comes a happy little fellow singing. On his head he wears a peculiar sort of hat made of brass, shining in the rays of the sun. And now and then he does a little dance, just for the fun of it.
Oh, I am a little barber and I go my merry way. With my razor and my leeches I can always earn my pay. Though your chin be smooth as satin, you will need me soon, I know. For the Lord protects his barbers and he makes the stubble grow. If I slip when I am shaving you and cut you to the quick, you can use me as a doctor, 'cause I also heal the sick.
Get thee to a place of hiding, Sancho. This encounter may be perilous.
But he's only a barber.
Nay, but see what he wears upon his head.
It's a shaving basin.
Fool, that is the golden helmet of Mambrino. Thou golden helmet of Mambrino, with so illustrious a past, too long hast thou been lost to glory, thou art rediscovered now at last. Golden helmet of Mambrino, there can be no hat like thee. Thee and I now, ere I die now, will make golden his story.
I can hear the cuckoo singing in the cuckooberry tree.
If he says that that's a helmet, I suggest that you agree.
But he'll find it is not gold and will not make him bold and brave.
Well, at least he'll find it useful if he ever needs a shave.
Thou golden helmet of Mambrino, thy deeds the world will not forget. Now Don Quixote de la Mancha will bring thee greater glory yet. Golden helmet of Mambrino, there can be no path like thee. Thee and I now, where I die now, will make golden his
And that's how Don Quixote came to wear a shaving basin on his head instead of a helmet. Now, as everyone knows, each knight must have a lady, for a knight without a lady is, well, like a body without a soul. Don Quixote, having discovered his lady, who merely happens to look like a serving girl at an inn, sends his faithful squire Sancho to her with a love letter, which he calls a missive. But Aldonza doesn't think much of missives. She demands to know why Sancho, who seems like a sensible fellow, has taken such an old fool for a master.
I'm telling you why. It's because...
Why?
Because I like him. I really like him. Tear out my fingernails one by one. I like him. I don't have a very good reason. Since I've been with him, cuckoo nuts have been in season. But there's nothing I can do. Chop me up for onion stew. Still I yell to the sky, though I can't tell you why, that I like him. I like him. I really like him. Plot me naked as a scalded chicken. I like him. Don't ask me for why or wherefore, 'cause I don't have a single good because or therefore. You can barbecue my nose, make a giblet of my toes. Make me freeze, make me fry, make me sigh, make me cry. Still I yell to the sky, though I can't tell you why, that I like him.
Aldonza acts very scornful, but secretly she is troubled. Is this courteous knight really a madman? Or is he a wise man who sees people not as they are, but as they ought to be? Alone in the kitchen, scrubbing pots and pans, Aldonza sings of her bewilderment.
Why does he do the things he does? Why does he do these things? Why does he march through that dream that he's in, covered with glory and rusty old tin? Why does he live in a world that can't be? And what does he want of me? What does he want of me? Why does he say the things he says? Why does he say these things? Sweet Dulcinea and missive and such, nethermost hem of thy garment I touch. No one can be what he wants me to be. Oh, what does he want of me? What does he want of me? Doesn't he know he'll be laughed at wherever he'll go? And why I'm not laughing myself, I don't know. Why does he want the things he wants? Why does he want these things? Why does he batter at walls that won't break? Why does he give when it's natural to take? Where does he see all the good he can see? And what does he want of me? What does he want of me?
Aldonza decides once and for all to confront Don Quixote and find out what he's up to, what he hopes to gain by his hopeless battle against evil. She finds him in the courtyard under the stars, and she challenges him.
Why do you do these things?
What things, my lady?
These ridiculous... the things you do.
I hope to add some measure of goodness to the world.
The world is rotten, and God doesn't even know we're living on it. And you, Senor Don Quixote, you're going to take such a beating.
But whether I win or lose does not matter.
What does?
Only that I follow the quest.
That for your quest. What does it mean? Quest.
It is the mission of each true knight. His duty, nay, his privilege.
To dream the impossible dream,
to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable stars. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
A traveling priest who is staying at the inn overhears this and thinks that Don Quixote is indeed impractical, or perhaps a little crazy. But he considers also how sad it is that more people don't try to live by such ideals, and how lovely it would be if each man were actually to find the princess of his dreams.
He is surely either the wisest madman or the maddest wise man in the world.
To each his Dulcinea, that he alone can name. To each a secret hiding place where he can find the haunting face to light his secret flame. To each his Dulcinea, beside him so to stand. A man can do quite anything, outfly the bird upon the wing, hold moonlight in his hand. Yet if you build your life on dreams, it's prudent to recall a man with moonlight in his hand has nothing there at all. There is no Dulcinea, she's made of flame and air, and yet how lovely life would seem if every man could weave a dream to keep him from despair. Nothing there at all. There is no Dulcinea, she's made of flame and air, and yet how lovely life would seem if every man could weave a dream to keep him from despair. To each his Dulcinea, though she's naught but flame and air.
Don Quixote has a confession to make. To the innkeeper, he confesses that he simply gave himself the name of Don Quixote, and that he has never actually been dubbed a knight.
Your lordship, I have a confession to make. I have never actually been dubbed a knight.
That's bad.
But I am well qualified, my lord. I am brave, courteous, bold, generous, affable, and patient.
Yes, that's the list.
Then, wouldst thou take my sword and dub me knight?
Certainly. Why not?
And Sancho and my lady Dulcinea shall bear witness to the ceremony.
Are you ready?
I am.
Very well, then, kneel. Don Quixote de la Mancha, I hereby dub thee knight.
But, your lordship...
Now, what's the matter? Didn't I do it right?
Well, if your lordship could make some mention of the deeds I performed to earn this honor...
Of course. Don Quixote de la Mancha, having proven yourself this day in glorious and terrible combat, and by my authority as lord of this castle, I hereby dub thee knight.
Your lordship.
Something else?
Well, it is customary to grant the new knight an added name. If your lordship could devise such a name for me.
Hail, knight of the woeful countenance, knight of the woeful countenance. Wherever you go, people will know of the glorious deeds of the knight of the woeful countenance. Farewell and good cheer, oh my brave cavalier, ride onward to glorious strife. I swear when you're gone, I'll remember you well for all of the rest of my life. Hail, Knight of the woeful countenance, Knight of the woeful countenance. Wherever you go, face to the foe, they will quail at the sight of the Knight of the woeful countenance. Oh, valorous knight, go and fight for the right, and battle all villains that be. But oh, when you do, what will happen to you? Thank God I won't be there to see. Hail, Knight of the woeful countenance, Knight of the woeful countenance. Wherever you go, people will know of the glorious deeds of the Knight of the woeful countenance.
Suddenly there is a blare of trumpets. And a strange cavalcade enters the courtyard of the inn. There are many attendants, led by a knight who rides a black horse and is dressed from head to toe in black armor. Tall and terrifying, and his manner is insulting and scornful. Don Quixote recognizes him. It is his mortal enemy, the enchanter. He challenges the enchanter to combat, and the conditions are laid down. If the enchanter loses, he is to kneel and beg mercy of the lady Dulcinea. If Don Quixote loses, he is to give up his crusade and his knighthood, and never challenge the enchanter again. But as the battle begins, the enchanter swings his shield toward Don Quixote, revealing it as a brilliant, polished mirror. The enchanter's attendants also carry such mirrors, and no matter how hard Don Quixote tries, he finds nothing to fight but his own reflected image.
Look, Don Quixote! Look into the mirror of reality and behold things as they truly are. Look! What dost thou see, Don Quixote? A gallant knight? Naught but an aging fool. Look! Dost thou see him? A madman dressed for a masquerade. Look, Don Quixote! See him as he truly is. See the clown. Drown, Don Quixote. Drown in the mirror of reality. Go deep, deep. The masquerade is ended.
I am Don Quixote, knight-errant of La Mancha. My lady is the lady Dulcinea. And the dream.
Remember the conditions. Thou shalt retire from the field, never to venture forth again.
Aldonza feels pity for Don Quixote and great sadness, but there is nothing she can do. Sancho takes his master home. Don Quixote is destroyed in spirit and falls ill, lying day after day in his bed, his eyes open but unseeing. He doesn't care whether he lives or dies. He doesn't care about anything now that he is no longer a knight-errant. The faithful Sancho tries to cheer him up.
A little gossip, a little chat, a little idle talk of this and that. I'll tell him all the troubles I have had, and since he doesn't hear, at least he won't feel bad. When I first got home, my wife Teresa beat me, but the blows fell very lightly on my back. She kept missing every other stroke and crying from the heart that while I was gone, she'd gone and lost the knack.
Of course, I hit her back, Your Grace, but she's a lot harder than I am. And you know what they say, whether the stone hits the pitcher or the pitcher hits the stone, it's going to be bad for the pitcher. So I've got bruises from here to a little gossip, a little chat, a little idle talk of this and that. If no one listens, then it's just as well. At least I won't get caught in any lies I tell. Oh, I haven't fought a windmill in a fortnight, and the humble joys get duller every day. Why, when I'm asleep, a dragon with his fiery tongue a wagging whispers, Sancho, won't you please come out and play?
A visitor comes to the house. It is Aldonza, who has come searching for the knight who called her by another name and made her feel herself a lady. But Don Quixote does not even seem to recognize her.
Don't you know me?
Should I?
I am Aldonza.
I'm sorry, I do not recall anyone of that name.
Please, my lord.
Why do you say my lord? I am not a lord.
You are my lord, Don Quixote.
Don Quixote? You must forgive me, my dear. I have been ill. I am confused by shadows. It is possible I knew you once, but I do not remember.
Please, try to remember.
Is it so important?
Everything. My whole life. You spoke to me and everything was different.
I spoke to you?
And you called me by another name. Dulcinea, Dulcinea. Once you found a girl and called her Dulcinea. When you spoke the name, an angel seemed to whisper, Dulcinea, 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 Dulcinea. Won't you please bring back the dream of Dulcinea? Won't you bring me back the bright and shining glory of Dulcinea?
Then perhaps it was not a dream.
You spoke of a dream and about the quest.
The quest?
How you must fight, and it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, if only you follow the quest.
The words. Tell me the words. facts.
To dream the impossible dream. But they're your own words. To fight the unbeatable foe. Don't you remember? To bear with unbearable sorrow. Oh, you must remember. To run where the brave dare not go.
To right the unrightable wrong.
Yes.
To love, pure and chaste from afar.
Yes.
To try when your arms are too weary. To reach the unreachable star.
Oh, thank you, my lord.
But this is not seemly, my lady. On thy knees to me.
My lord, you're not well.
Not well. What is sickness, the body of a knight-errant? What matter wounds? But each time he falls, he shall rise again. And woe to the wicked. Sancho!
Be our grace!
My armor! My sword! Oh, the trumpets of glory now call me to ride. Yes, the trumpets are calling to me. And wherever I ride, ever staunch at my side, my squire and my lady shall be. I am Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha, my destiny calls and I go. And the wild wings of fortune shall carry me onward, oh, whithersoever they blow. Whithersoever they blow, onward to glory.
And so Aldonza helped Don Quixote to remember both himself and his quest. And though his story was written 400 years ago, Don Quixote is as alive today as he was then. And as long as people can laugh and cry, they will tell and retell the story of the man with the impossible dream.
Tell me, Sancho, how dost thou like adventuring?
Oh, marvelous, your grace. But it's peculiar. To me, this great highway to glory looks exactly like the road to El Toboso, where you can buy chickens cheap.
Well, like beauty, my friend, is all in the eye of the beholder. Only wait, and thou shalt see amazing sights.
What kind?
Knights and nations, warlocks, wizards, a cavalcade of vast, unending armies.
They sound dangerous.
They are dangerous. There'll be one who leads them.